Well, hello, guys. I don't know what's happening with the lighting. It is so weird. It's been different lighting every time just lately. So 7 people on board already. Fantastic. Welcome to the Sunday stream. If you're watching the replay, excuse me, if you're watching the replay or you're watching in the future, then, welcome to you too. Really appreciate you guys watching. Lots more subscribers this week, actually. Suddenly the channel seems to have, hit a certain point and taken off, which is really nice. So Sam is here. Hello, Sam. Hello, Clara O'Neill. Sharon Sipe, great to see you. April Evans. Fox Buck, in fact, is here as well. Great to see you. Let's scroll up and see what else is going on. Twainer is here. Hey, Twainer, nice to see you. Lynn Wilson loves Yorkshire, don't we all? Hi, Philip. And let me be here all night doing this one, but I don't like to leave anyone out if I can help it. Right, I think I've got everyone there. Absolutely fantastic to see you guys all here this evening. So sorry about the rather strange light. I'm using exactly the same lights that I always use. In fact, I've put an extra one on, and it's just like looks really dark for some strange reason. I don't know, maybe it's StreamYard, maybe it's me, maybe it's the influences. I'll have to work something out, won't I? Let's start off tonight with a card for absolutely everyone. And so I've had a shuffle and I'll split the deck. And here we are. Don't dim to fit in. This looks like good advice, actually. And all of us who are interested in anything psychic or anything mystical like this often find ourselves under pressure to just shut up about it, to kind of not spread the love, whatever. Well, I guess you've got to fit in wherever you are one way or another. But whatever you do, friends, don't dim to fit in. It's so easy to do that. What we've got here is this lady is covering her eyes up, and if we look right up at the top of the card, there is the third eye above her head in a mystical, magical kind of a triangle. And there are 3 of her. So by covering her own light up, she's actually covering up the mystical light as if it's like times 3, you know. So when you dim your light to fit in, you're really kind of, you're just not doing yourself any favors, really. In a lot of ways, you're not doing the psychic influences a lot of favors either, but they can handle it. They know what world we live in. To make the best of things, guys, don't dim to fit in. That's what it's all about. Hello, Sandra Nevins. Nice to see you. Don't think we've met before. Donna Vitteriad, we have met before, but it's great to see you. It's absolutely great to see everyone. So things are going up. Things are moving. Well, people seem to enjoy. Jackie Walters, hi to you. People really seem to enjoy the video I posted yesterday, which was all about spirit guides. And right at the beginning, I was talking about how, it takes time and you've got to be patient and everything. And there was one thing I didn't mention, actually, in that video. I only say what comes to me. I don't write a script or anything. And I think it's worth mentioning right here and right now that there is no time in the afterlife. Of course, eternity is a thing all of its own. And because of that, sometimes we kind of make a lot of progress and then it just stops. And it appears to have stopped dead, and it can stop for years sometimes, but it picks up again. And for that reason, also, don't dim your light to fit in. There was a great medium, actually, I was in training with many years ago, and she got an opportunity to work with 2 really excellent mediums who were traveling around the country, and they offered to take her to a service they were doing about 3 hours drive away. And she said no because she didn't have enough hair products, and she was worried her hair might look a bit frizzy. And I understand that bothers people. Hi, Daisy, by the way, Daisy D, nice to see you. And sure, that bothers people, but she didn't get another opportunity like that for about something like 4 or 5 years into the future. And a thing like that can just kind of, you feel like you're making progress really quickly and the opportunities are flowing, and the opportunities can just dry up. It's really unfortunate, but they can. They'll always come back again. When spirit have actually got you involved and got you intrigued, there is a reason for it, and it will all come to life and be magical again at some point. But you do get times in between where nothing happens. For example, I think I was doing readings about 4 years before any of the spiritualist churches wanted me, and then suddenly I was working in the churches all the time. It was a big bang, and it happened. this YouTube channel. I've been working on this YouTube channel, friends, since before I was a spiritualist, 2007. Actually, I started this channel, and I've tried like doing stuff about chickens. I've tried doing stuff about cars, about woodwork, cooking, absolutely everything. And eventually I realized, it sunk in, that this was a good kind of psychic channel to have, and a good way to use the channel would be as a psychic outlet. I started that about 3 or 4 years, early 2017, about 4 years ago. And eventually it happened, but it took so blinking long. Worth the wait, though. That's the point. So if things have been happening for you at some point in your life and they seem to have slowed down a lot, don't worry about it, guys, okay? Do not worry about it, because it's all for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. There is no such thing as coincidence. Speaking of which, I've got my purple healing mug that I always drink when I'm doing healing. So I think we're going to see some healing coming into this situation tonight. And that's another thing I was on about right at the end of that video, actually. Sometimes you're going to be a medium, sometimes you're going to be a healer, and various different things you can do within the spiritual movement, within the psychic realms. And it almost doesn't matter which, because you'll always be able to fulfill what you're put on this earth to do, as long as you kind of choose a way forward and take that way forward and stick to it. For example, you can do a lot of healing through psychic stuff, you know. You can do a lot of healing from what we call the platform, the little stage at the front of spiritualist churches where we stand up on. Reiki healers, particularly Reiki masters, but Reiki healers generally do actually have a lot of clairvoyant experiences. They'll see spirit guides, and they'll see people related to the person that they're working on, you know. And healing guides are a big part of Reiki. And I've done quite a lot of Reiki, and I do have healing guides. But sometimes they tell me spiritualist stuff, you know. It's all mix and match. But the thing to do is, you know, choose what you think or what you feel strongest drawn to as a psychic profession, as a psychic discipline, and go along with that, okay? Hello, Adrienne. You're push mowing almost an acre around trees and a hill. Wow, hugs to you too, Adrienne. That sounds a bit different to your usual profession, but have you guys got a public holiday in USA this weekend? Because we've got a public holiday in UK tomorrow. It's May Day. And, you know, so everything's kind of different. And people were out panic buying in the shops yesterday. When I went out to make that video, it was really hard to get through the superstore, because there's just loads of people in there, because the shops are going to be closed for one day, you know. In fact, less than that, actually. The shops are going to be closed for about 18 hours. And oh, my goodness, what are we going to do? What are we going to eat? Crazy stuff. Right, hey, more about my eating habits as we go on. Hi, Austin. And hello, Sheila Inquisitive Tarot. Nice to see you. Your next holiday, May the 31st, Memorial Day. All right. Okay, I'm getting to know these. You mainly do May the 4th and the 5th of May. Ah, right. Okay. And, of course, 4th of July. But that's quite a way off yet, isn't it? I always look forward to that, though, because it's a time when my American friends get a bit of time off and everything comes to life. Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, healthy diet, really important, okay? But I've said so much now. I'm going to get down to doing some readings, and we will do some more of that in a bit. When I like to kind of read, and then just talk about something else for a few minutes to just to make a break, just to let the energies build up. And Sharon Lee has a question. Gosh, they've made this screen so small. Question, new contract job. My boss doesn't like to repeat himself. My workmate told me, oh, herself, sorry, such small writing. My workmate told me she cries every day. Will she be any nicer to me? Oh, wow. There's got to be a reason why she's like that, yeah? There's always a reason when people have a mean approach to life. So I'm going to, rather than just get the pendulum out, which I will in a second, let's do 3 tarot cards for that, okay? Right, okay, here we go. 3 cards from Tarot in Wonderland. The first one is the Queen of Swords, and that sounds like what this lady is actually rather like to me. Now, the Queen of Swords, a very forbidding kind of persona she has. She's holding her sword up there, and she's got a lot on her mind. This is the thing. So if she thinks you're not taking things seriously, she is going to get really on your case and not probably be very nice about it. And this might be the problem, okay? I'm not saying that your workmate is in any way like not serious or not good at it or something, but it feels to me like there's something about your workmate that your boss isn't entirely happy with, especially looking at the Queen of Swords there. Next thing we've got is the Seven of Cups, right? And I'm aiming this one at you, Sharon, because this is the middle one, okay? This is all about you. So it's the Seven of Cups, and Alice is looking away from all these crazy images on the screen that's behind her. There are 4 candles there, so we've got the angel number and we've got plenty of light. So there is plenty of light for you. And what you've really got to do, Sharon, is just try and kind of numb yourself to whatever's going on. I wouldn't get too involved in criticizing this lady because she is the Queen of Swords. But just do your best, okay? Do your best and you're in with a pretty good chance. Feels to me like this lady who is your boss has... she's learned some lessons in the past, and she's had some bad employees in the past, and she's like projecting what happened then onto the people around her now, which isn't fair at all. But card number 3 is the Ace of Wands, and this is very much about life is what you make it, and it's about getting things done and everything. So you know, keep your head down, work as hard as you can, Sharon. Things are going to be pretty good for you by the look of it. Okay. So, yeah, don't take it too hard. That's the thing. I don't believe what your boss is putting on your workmate is I don't think she's going to put that on you either. Okay. Yeah. So, hope that helps. Thanks so much for that. Oh, so I'm stalling because I knew there's something I'd forgotten. I'm going to use the pendulum as well. Okay. Let's just have a straight yes or no to that question, please, about Sharon Lee. Is her boss going to be mean to her too? Well, it's not really doing anything, but it's quivering a lot, so there's some energy there, okay? But don't worry about it, you know. That was basically neither a yes or a no. So as long as you do your best, as long as you really apply yourself as much as you can, Sharon, things are going to be okay. More than okay, I would say, because we did end up with the Ace of Wands there, and that is very, very positive, very alchemical. So there you go. Okay, Philip would like an angel card reading tonight, so I shall do one. Okay. Let's see now then. I wonder which angel cards Philip would like. Wonder if I should use this deck. Okay, here we go. Hey, Philip, thanks for your support, mate. Really appreciate all the, the comments you leave and stuff. And guys, it's great when you leave comments on my videos, and the live chat is a different sort of comment for some reason. I appreciate all you guys who leave comments because 2 reasons. It's great for me to be in touch with you and feel that connection. And also it just helps with the YouTube algorithm. It really does. So I appreciate that and all the thumbs ups and everything. I actually got a little well done message from YouTube today, which is makes me laugh actually, because they do everything they possibly can to make it difficult, and then say, "Oh, we support you. We really support you a lot, Andy. We really do. Well done." But it was nice to get it. Okay, Philip, my friend, what we've got here, Divine Order, and it is Lady Portia. Let me just change what we've got on the screen here. Okay, Divine Order, Lady Portia. And she is saying, do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. Now, Philip, I know you do readings, and I know you're quite an accomplished psychic reader in your own right. I feel what's happening here is something is actually changing a bit. It says an important lesson is unfolding. But what's really happening is something is changing as part of that lesson unfolding. And this was a big thing that came to me again and again when I was making the video yesterday, actually, how things can suddenly change. You can have something working out absolutely fine with your spirit guides. You can be working regularly, getting it right regularly, and something changes. And it doesn't mean you get it wrong, but suddenly it's like getting blood out of a stone. So if that's happening to you, Philip, an important lesson is unfolding is the reason why. But an important lesson is most definitely unfolding for some reason or other. because that's what Lady Portia is actually saying. Okay, so hope that helps you, mate. And as it's Lady Portia, I think it's like a portent, you know, a kind of a whatever's happening now. It's it's auguring something for the future. Do you know what I mean? Augury is it's an old word, but it's like divination, you know. I've always wanted to learn to do bird augury with my chickens, because the Romans used bird augury to lay out all their big cities. And what you'd do is you'd have, like, I think 5 chickens or 6 chickens, and you'd have them wandering about, and you'd see where they wandered. And the places the chickens liked to be were the places they built their most important buildings, because that felt like the best place to build them. It's like feng shui with chickens in Roman times. Crazy. I've only got 3 chickens, so I can't do that yet. But I'm really looking forward to trying it. I did have 7 chickens once, and I didn't try it then, so it's my own fault, really. Okay, now Lynn Wilson saying, good news, you found your lost camera. Wonderful. I'm delighted to hear that, Lynn. It's really great. Also, they're not cheap, you know, as well as how nice it is. They're just not cheap. So that's really good. That's really wonderful to know. Okay. So Philip's saying, yep, take the reading on board. Good man. Thank you so much. Maybe use kitty augury. That would be kind of a good thing, Sharon. But I'd end up building cities wherever there's a bowl of cat food if I did that. Because cats are they're very kind of focused, aren't they? But they are great psychic familiars. They're great to have around. They were asleep on the bed not half an hour ago. They're not here now. Don't know what they're up to. They shouldn't be long. It's not quite dark yet. It's just getting dark at the moment in UK. It's 5 to 9. So they're probably out getting the last of the daylight to have a look around. Okay, Austin, coming to you, my friend. Thanks for your question. Will my grandmother reveal the family secret about my mother's father? Right, let's do that the other way around. Let's start off with this pendulum, and then we'll have a look at the tarot to see what it's all about. But it's a good yes-no question, so let's ask for a yes or a no for the pendulum, please. For Austin's question, will my grandmother... Such small writing. Will my grandmother reveal the family secret about my mother's father? Oh, right. Well, she's not going to reveal the whole story, okay? She's going to tell you more about it, but she's not going to tell you the whole story, according to the pendulum, because it did a yes and no. It went across and then round a bit, and then across, and it was just, you know, it was like a D shape, which it doesn't usually do, and that is very, very non-committal. So let's see what's going on here. Hello, Denise Trudeau. Saw me with Sheila. Great. That was a great session with Sheila, actually. I loved that. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Denise. It's nice to see you here. Hope you're going to enjoy this session, which has not been going all that long. There's plenty more to come. Okay. Right. I was really hoping for the King of Wands, but I haven't got that. What I have got here, Austin, okay, Page of Pentacles is the first one, right? So the page needs some encouragement to actually come up with the goods. This is quite a young energy, so she's going to give out enough energy to be encouraging, okay? She's going to kind of tell you something that's going to help. Wheel of Fortune, who knows when? Right, who knows when? This doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon to me, Austin, but it is going to happen. Okay, and 6 of Swords is the third card here, the outcome card in terms of whether she reveals this this family secret about your mother's father or not. Right now, it's rough waters, and it's just not the best time for her to do that, she's thinking. Okay, there's going to come a time when she feels like revealing it. Okay, it's not that far away from what I'm seeing here either. And basically, as always with this card, the 6 of Swords, there are no leaves on the trees at all, right? The trees are bare, but you just know when that happens that pretty soon there are going to be leaves on the trees, you know. So it's coming. She's been teasing you with the truth for years, has she? Well, it's going to come out. It's going to come out, but it's not going to be the whole truth. It's going to be like just enough to sort of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, really. It's going to sort of satisfy a feeling that she's got, that she'd like to be more open about it. and she's going to feel that she's helping you, but she's not going to tell you the whole picture, I'm afraid. I'm being told there's nothing to worry about, though, Austin. So best of luck with that, mate. It was a very non-committal answer there, but I can only give out what they tell me. So thanks for your question, Austin, and thanks for joining us again, by the way. Christina Alvarez, hello to you. Thanks for joining us. Hello, Carrie Gibson. Nice to see you. And love and blessings to you too. I'm sure we all send love and blessings to each other here. You know, that's one of the nice things about this group. There's a lot of healing energy flows back and forth, and there's a lot of this kind of just this friendliness, which I really love about this group of people that's come together. And there's a thing, you know, again, coming back to what I was saying right at the top of the show. Sometimes you're doing your spiritual work and it seems to be going nowhere and you don't know why. And, you know, one day I started this channel. I didn't know any of you guys, didn't know Celtic Tarot, Sheila, or anyone. And now we're here and we've got this group of people who get on with each other and kind of send love and healing to each other. And this is what it's always been about. And I knew it would be about something, and I knew something would happen one day, but I didn't know what. And it kind of took a few years to make itself known. But just before Christmas, I had a terrible live streaming setup going at the time. I was testing it. It was no good. And Celtic Tarot Sheila came on and asked me when her channel was going to take off. And I naively thought that she'd just started her channel and had like 2 subscribers or something. So I said, oh, yeah, it'll grow. And no, she's got a much bigger channel than me, actually. And it's by Sheila letting me work with her, which is nice of her, and actually letting me meet you guys. That the thing is really, really taking off the way it is at the moment. So Hannah Brown, good evening to you. Would you be able to have a card, please? Yes. You're very stressed with university and you want to know if you'll secure a job when you finish your course. Okay. Right, that sounds like a tarot question to me, so that's what we're going to do. The tarot has been busy tonight. It's all been tarot so far, but hey, that's what we're here for. That's what the fun is all meant to be about. Let's see what we've got for Hannah Brown. Very stressed with university and want to know if you'll secure a job when you finish your course. Okay. I'm being told psychically, try and detach from the drama. Okay, Hannah. Some of what's going on, I dropped a card. Some of what's going on is of the stress is to do with things that are going on with other people, other people's dramas. Try and detach from them if you possibly can. The card I've got for you, Hannah Brown, is the Page of Cups. And what we've got here is Alice. This is the Tarot in Wonderland deck. And Alice appearing as the Page of Cups and looking at the cup, and there's a fish in it, and she doesn't really know what the hell that means, you know, but she's very open character and a very enthusiastic character, so she is going to make the best of it. So Hannah, your basic enthusiasm, not just for what you're doing, but for life generally, is what's got you sticking at this. And I'm being told you're stuck at this university thing, even though it's not making you happy. You've managed to stick with it. And that really is why I guess it gets as stressy as it does, because you've really got to stay on the horse. This card says you will, though, okay, and that you'll make the best of it. You will actually find an opportunity for a job, right? And you will take it, and it's going to go pretty well, because I'm really I get drawn to different things on the cards. But in the fish's mouth here, there is a scroll. And that is what's telling me, like, you get your diploma and there's a job involved with that as well. The cups are all about what we long for, what we desire. So it's going to be a job that's in keeping with what makes you happy, basically, which is wonderful. So the answer essentially is yes, Hannah Brown, but you've got to really try and keep on being as cheerful about it as you can. It doesn't sound like it's easy to be cheerful about it. It really does. Really doesn't. But just keep on going, because it looks good in the long run. It really does. Okay. Thank you so much for your question, Hannah. Great to meet you, by the way, if we haven't met already. We've now got so many friends. It's wonderful. But I can't remember exactly who I've met and who I haven't. So it's getting like that. I've met Salman Nassif plenty of times, though. We've had many emails and readings and stuff. So hi, Salman, nice to see you. I probably should write a book or something, actually, and maybe I will one day. My guides have been telling me to do it for a long time. Daisy D says, I know my guides want me to quit my job, but I have no idea where to apply. Do they know? Maybe they can help me. Let's take a look. Now then, guys, I do miss people's questions sometimes. So when you type your question in, right, mouse over it and copy it. Okay, just click copy. And then if you want to put the question in again a bit later on because I've missed it, then all you've got to do is paste. Saves you all the typing. Yeah, I should, Salma. I really should. I've been told by mediums to write a book. That's what my spirit guides seem to want me to do. I just don't fancy it. It seems so boring writing a book. But that is not the attitude. I must do it. I must do it. Right. Hannah Brown. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've done that one already. I must have clicked the wrong thing there. I thought I clicked on someone's message. Suhal just landed from measuring vintage clothes. Hi, nice to see you. Hi, Earth Mama, nice to see you. Yeah, I try to be joyful. You know, I think it's good if life is a joyful thing as much as possible. I really do. Okay. Daisy D, that's the one I was trying to bring up. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the power of joy is a strong thing. I've got an oracle card in one of my decks called Power of Joy, actually. And it's a very, very powerful thing because it'll carry you through all sorts of things. And people who like to bring you down won't bother if you look joyful. They'll know they've got no chance. Quickly going to apologize about the lighting again tonight, by the way. I don't know what to do about this lighting. I really don't. But as long as you can see me and as long as I can see you in terms of what you're typing there, this is great stuff. So Daisy D asks, I know my guides want me to quit my job, but I have no idea where to apply. Do they know? Maybe they can help me. Daisy, what I'm hearing here is pharmacy. That's what's come into my head. Hold my crystal a minute. Pharmacy. They're also talking about plumbing. I don't know if either of those work together or that means something to you, but pharmacy is what I'm being told, Daisy. Okay. And I've just turned over a card for you on that one, Daisy. And what we've got here is Ace of Cups. Right, so basically go for something in the line of work that you actually enjoy, that you're going to be happy with, okay? Because the cups, I'll say it again, they're all about what you long for, what you desire, and that's the best way to go. And this is a really good indication, Daisy. Okay, so something's going to work out. Make sure you're going in a direction that you want to go in. That's what really matters. Okay, thanks so much for your question. Don't know why I've just clicked on that. Sometimes I click on something and the chat moves and I click on something that isn't a question. Hey, hi, Jamie. Thanks for joining us. Good to know you're there. Into the future, you need a ghostwriter or maybe a spirit writer. Yeah, very cool, actually. Oh, lighting is good. I'm really glad to hear that. It's really dark on my screen. You know what? Let me just move maybe it's just the angle I'm looking at the screen. I think that's all it was, actually. Well, there we go. There's a happy issue out of the perceived affliction, which is not an affliction. It's a wonderful saying in the Church of Wales. In the prayers, they say, God, please grant us a happy issue out of all our afflictions. How cool is that? Christina, let's go to you and do your question about Ivan. What did Ivan think and feel about the new profile picture? Oh, right. Okay. It's all very tarot-y tonight, so I'm going to stick with the tarot and see where we keep on getting. Right. Okay. 4 of Cups. You're worried about nothing. Lots of cup cards coming up tonight. Lots of desires, lots of longings. You're worried about nothing. Okay, Christina. This card has a few different meanings about it, but look, what's really going on here? The turtle at the front is really miserable and worried, and the dolphin at the back knows everything's fine, and the dolphin's doing a cheerful trick with a cup because it's a happy dolphin. Okay. The turtle isn't going to drown. The waters are washing up around the turtle, but it's a turtle. It can actually swim in them, so you shouldn't be so worried. Really shouldn't be so worried. So 3 cups sloshing about in the water, that's you worrying about it, Christina. But the 1 cup at the Where is it? Right at the back there on the dolphin's nose, all cheerful, all happy. And, you know, he likes the picture, you know, or at least he doesn't dislike it. It's not a problem. That's what the card is saying. So don't worry about it, okay? I don't know if it made him desire you more, but it hasn't been a problem, Christina, okay? It certainly hasn't made him desire you less. And the way the dolphin was standing up reminds me of a certain thing that I'm not going to mention because it'd be very rude, but it seems to have got something standing up, which is no bad thing. So hope that helps. Hello, Belle. Yeah, as Twainer says, we are very happy to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Right, let's go to Sandra Nevins. Hi, Sandra. Nice to see you again. Thanks so much for joining us. Okay, card for guidance. I'm going to give the tarot cards a little rest at this moment. Going to pop them just there. Good deck for guidance is this one, Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell, with artwork by Danielle Noel. Beautiful deck, and I think we've got some something in the way of spirit guides actually coming through at this point, because this deck, whenever I'm drawn to use this deck, there's someone in the afterlife wishing to communicate, wishing to get a message across. Okay, so Sandra Nevins, what have we got? Oh, right. This is a bit like the Tower of Destruction, but it's certainly nothing to worry about. What you need to do, Sandra, is just let go, okay? It feels to me like you're maybe juggling priorities. You're maybe scrambling a bit to actually hold life together, to keep a situation together. That's what I'm being told. And the crumbling is the card, and it says, what are you clinging on to? Right now, there's no stopping this tower splitting itself in half, and this is a bit like your life at the moment. It's just, you know, it can't go on like this. But if we look at the gap in between the tower, absolutely beautiful scenes there. So you're being urged to move forward into pastures new, into a situation that's going to be happier for you and better for you. So don't try and keep everything the same, Sandra. That's really the message. Try and allow new things to come in, allow new things to happen as best you can. That's going to make all the difference. It really is. So thanks for your question. Best of luck with that. And I'll say it again, don't worry about it, okay? It's a bit of a scary thing that to look at, but, you know, it's a good thing. Hi, Pammy. Hi, Erin. Okay. Let me find more in the question department at this point. Okay, we've done Ivan and the profile picture. Foxbuck, may I have a spirit guide message? Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Good one for this deck as well, but I'm being told not to use this deck for this one. Okay. Right. Right, there's a man in the spirit world, Fox, he's like, he seems to be dressed in bright clothes, or he's got a bright car with him. It's like bright yellow seems to be a color. He's making me think of Ronald McDonald. I don't know why, but that's the feeling I get. It's kind of happy-go-lucky sort of man. I feel of an older generation. I feel quite an entertaining sort of a man. And he is around you. If you don't know who he is, then he's an ancestor, but he's certainly around you. He's certainly close. And I will do a card for you in a second, which I'm sure will be directed by him. Let me just quickly, Beverly Spencer, don't worry, my friend. I will pull you a card as we go forward. Okay, but right now with Foxbuck, this gentleman is here. He's ticking me off, actually, for going off the subject. But what are you going to do? He says, Doreen Virtue Ascended Masters deck is the one to go with. Maybe that's why I was seeing yellow and bright colors, actually. But he seems a very colorful man. He really does, Fox. Okay. And he would have passed away because of, I don't know that it was cancer or anything like that, but it was something around the throat. I feel smoking would have been an issue for him as well. I just got that kind of sparky feeling in the back of my throat that I got when I smoked cigarettes. So something like that. But he's close. He wants me to fan them out, and I've got to fan them out for him to see, and he's going to pick a card. Right, he's picked 3 cards. What we got? What we got? First one we've got Come on, cards, go back in your box so I can crack on with it. Right, first one we've got Yoga Babaji. All right. This is a lot like the Paramahansa Yogananda card that we had to end the session last week. Okay, peace is a choice, and you draw a lot more peace into your life when you choose to do some yoga, or at least think in that yogic way. You know, I'm not saying you've got to get a yoga mat and sit cross-legged. I'm sure it would help. It's a great thing to do, but that's not the point. The point is try and embrace peace in your life as much as you can, Fox. Right, and one of the reasons you need to do that is that now you're being told to take charge of the situation. So there is some difficulty in your life looming up ahead of you at the moment, causing you a lot of worry. But here we go. If you take charge of the situation, that's the thing to do. And I realize it's not that easy for you to actually go ahead and take charge of the situation, Fox. You feel to me like you've got a much gentler energy than that. But the thing to do is actually really put yourself in charge, okay? Put yourself in the driving seat. No one else is going to sort this out. Only you can, okay? And card number 3, fertility, Pan. All right, so when you take charge of the situation, there's going to be fertility about it. It's going to lead to better things for you, right? That is the message, Fox. Seriously hope that helps you, my friend. And thank you for coming on board, and thank you for asking it. Stick with us. It always gets more interesting as the night wears on. Okay, let's go to Into the Future. Does Spirit have a message for my son, Mike? Any? Thank you, Andy. Thank you, N2. Thanks so much for your question. Hello, Melanie North. I'll come to you quite shortly, actually, because that looks like a good one to talk about. But right now, Into the Future. And without me even thinking about it, my hands have gone over to the tarot deck, which I wasn't expecting for a spirit message, but that's where my hands went. So that's what we're going to do. Does Spirit have a message for my son, Mike? Any? Okay. Right, for your son, Mike, 1 card and 2, and it's the death card. Doesn't mean anyone's going to die. I always emphasize that, okay? This is it's like the changing nature of life, you know. And what Mike needs to do at the moment is close the door on a previous situation, or close the door on whatever I feel he's got some worries. Just close the door on that and move on, move forward, because sometimes the new door can't open until the old door is closed. And what Alice is doing in this card, she's blowing the candle out. Okay, she's also all about truth in this, because we got lots of turquoise smoke coming off the candle. So by blowing out the candle, a turquoise smoke has come. The truth is coming through. So it's time to move forward for Mike. Okay, time to move forward. Just no hanging on to the past. The past. That's where it's at, because the past is old news. You keep the lessons, you keep the love, and you shut the door on it, and you keep going on forward into the future. And that is the message for Mike N2. And thank you for your question. Appreciate it. Okay. Earth Mama says, this morning when I was having coffee, a Tootsie Roll candy I had on the countertop just started rolling around on its own. I said, oh, hello. Who was visiting? Right. It might have been me, actually. I don't know what a Tootsie Roll candy is, but I like the sound of it. It wasn't me, I promise you. Okay, I actually don't feel it was a spirit person. I feel it was like someone in a loving way. Someone like sending their thoughts to you. Someone thinking of you. You know. This would be. This feels like a sisterly kind of figure. Someone who was around you when you were children together and is now far away was thinking of you. Yeah. There's also a grandmother who is always around you, right? Always, and you know she can move things around, but she was actually around you as well. Let me bring that up onto the screen there. So yeah, grandma is around you, but this is like a sister figure, you know. Really feels like a sister, actually, not just a sister figure, and actually your sister, who is there, and Candy got involved. You know, it's just a connection to the past. It's a link back to the past. Now then, was there something different about the coffee, Earth Mama? I just got a feeling this wasn't your usual coffee. And I think you've been thinking about stuff as well. I think you've been bringing like change into your life, basically. I think the coffee is a metaphor for that. Like a prayer. Well, thanks, Earth Mama. No, okay. Well, I've gone a bit abstract and off the point there, but I stick by what I said at the beginning. Okay, living people, we are all psychic, and we do actually, psychokinesis doesn't just come from the afterlife. It's worth remembering. The afterlife is kind of what I specialize in, but yeah. Okay, Twainer, I'll come to you. Okay, I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to talk about something else. Question from Melanie North. Okay, I'd just like to take little breaks in the messages just to let the energy build up. And so we'll talk about this instead, just for a moment. Melanie North, I haven't met my spirit guides, but I felt led towards becoming a healer of some sort. Since hitting an existential crisis brick wall last year, I lack clarity. Am I on the right track? Yes, Melanie, you're on the right track when you talk about having the inclination, feeling drawn towards becoming a healer. Okay, I know it sounds really obvious, but the thing you're drawn to is actually, that's where the action is. That's the prize to keep your eyes on, really. You do have a strong ability to heal. You do have a clairvoyant ability as well, Melanie, but it's going to develop along the lines of healing. Again, at the top of the show, I mentioned that a lot of Reiki healers do actually have clairvoyant experiences. They see spirit people. They see and hear healing guides related to the healing that they're doing. And also, a lot of healers actually, when they look at the body of the person they're working on, they can actually see where the healing is needed. I haven't had that experience myself, but I know several Reikiists have had that experience. I think you'll do well on the shamanic side of things as well, Melanie. So you might want to look to Amadeus healing, which is very kind of shamanic. But it's all healing. And yeah, I see you really working well as a healer. I see you doing very well as a healer, actually. Now, lacking clarity really is no bad thing, believe it or not, because what you could do is you could just decide to ignore the whole thing and be totally clear about that. That's what a lot of people do to get around the mental effort and the concerns about it. But you're doing the right thing. You're soldiering on with that lack of clarity, Melanie, and things will become a lot clearer as you go forward. Right, they're bound to. Thanks for that question. Thanks so much, Melanie, and I wish you all the best with that. An existential crisis and hitting a brick wall is very often life's way of telling us that it's time to, move on, make a change, and generally speaking, keep going. So, Twainer, any message from my mother so near Mother's Day? Thanks for the question, Twainer, and thanks again for all you do. Okay. I guess you have Mother's Day at a different time to what we have it in UK, actually, because we have it quite a way before Easter. But there we go. Okay. There's a voice saying, tread softly, Twainer. And I have told you, I'm sure I've given you messages before saying, like, go ahead, do the things you want to do. Almost be forceful about it. But what I'm being told now is to tell you to go quite softly about your future path. Which deck? Keepers of the Light. Yeah, try and tread. No, which deck? Ask an Angel. Right. Okay, let's do you a card on that. Right, so yeah, gently does it, Twainer. That's the message. It's like an old thing that an old expression, an old wives' expression in the UK is more haste, less speed. In other words, if you if you go a bit more gently at a thing, you'll get further than if you kind of try and keep pushing. You can push your way into a bottleneck. You know what I mean? But I'm shuffling now, looking for a card to give you a bit more on that, Twainer. Let's see what we get. Melchizedek, color healing. And Melchizedek is very strongly tied up with the law of attraction as well. Okay, now then, how does this go with softly, softly? I am wondering. Hello, Thule, by the way. Let me look at this. Right. Okay. What we've got down the side here of the card, Twain, is lots of symbols from lots of different traditions. We've got the dagger, the pentagram, we've got the eye there, we've got the six-pointed star, and we've got the Christian cross there. And they're all lined up like chakras, you know, they're all part of the same thing. So in terms of going softly, Twainer, try and, you know, incorporate as much as possible of what is good, what not just good for you, but good for your family, good for the people you work for, good for the people around you. Okay, treading softly, lovely soft pastel colors in this. So enjoy the colors of life. Okay, if it was autumn, I'd say enjoy the colors of autumn, but there's something very artistic about this card. But yeah, law of attraction. Okay, just, you know, manifest. Have those manifestational thoughts for sure, Twainer, but at the same time, just let things happen. Go at it as softly as you can. Okay. Thule says, pretty Melchizedek. Interesting. What deck is it? It is Tony Carmine Salerno, Ask an Angel. And he's Tony with an I, but he is a man. He's an Australian painter, spirit artist. He paints stuff that he's inspired to paint. And every now and again, he picks some paintings out and makes them into a deck. He's not as active now as he was about 12 years ago when I first bought that deck. And I think that deck's getting quite expensive now. It wasn't at the time. It was, doesn't say on it, but I think it was about 12 British pounds at the time. It's probably more now, but yeah. Hey, Gutsy Guru's here. Nice to see you. Hey, I haven't seen you for ages, Gutsy. How are you doing? Great to see you. Cat Mayer's here. Thule's here. The gang's all here. This is what we like. Erin O'Nugent is mowing her yard and listening. It's a time for mowing, actually. The rains are coming here tomorrow. You're doing good, Gutsy. Brilliant. I'm glad to hear it. The rains are coming here tomorrow. And it is going to be crazy, actually, because suddenly all the grass is going to spring up. It hasn't rained here for ages. It dripped a little bit yesterday. It's dripped a little bit today, but we're expecting big rains tomorrow. And I got the hole in my roof repaired just in time. So, Gutsy, let's come to you. Do you have a card for me related to my YouTube channel? Ooh, right, okay. And my hand went ahead and reached out for the Ascended Masters, which is getting a good outing tonight, to say the least. Focus upon your strengths is the card, Gutsy, and it is Apollo, right? So you have great strength. No doubt that's part of the meaning of Apollo. Lots of strength there, but focus upon those strengths, Gutsy, right? And this is something else, actually. God, it's amazing. All the stuff I was talking about at the top of the show, and actually in the Spirit Guides video that I uploaded yesterday, all seems to be coming out at the moment. Focusing on your strengths. Really, that's the best way to go, you know. I was saying earlier, I tried all sorts of different ways of having a YouTube channel. I've done chickens, woodwork, cars, baking, absolutely everything. I just used to vlog my life at one point. I've done wand making. I've done making a handle for a shovel. All sorts of stuff I've done. And if I just focused on doing spiritual practice of one kind or another, then I would have been where I am now in 2009 instead of in 2021. Okay, so if it doesn't seem to be working out, or if it's just not going as fast as you want it to, Gutsy, just keep going, okay? And I'm not saying it's got to be a spiritual channel. I think that would be good for you, actually. But it's what you're good at, what you're strong at, okay? Because you can talk more interestingly about that. They sometimes say, don't base your YouTube channel on something you're passionate about, because that way you might not want to jump through the YouTube hoops because you care too much about your subject to do that. But keep going, friend, okay? I sometimes get concerned that I'm putting stuff out on YouTube, which isn't the nicest place in the world, I'm afraid. I mean, it is here on this channel, in this group, I know, but it's just YouTube, you know, there's a lot of fake advertising and people are always like trying to advertise their videos by putting little links in my comments, which I then delete. And you know, there's the downside of YouTube, but I've cracked on with the spiritual practice, and I'm finding it's working. You know, I could monetize. I haven't monetized because I'm doing nicely on the private readings. You know, so money is coming in from this, and I haven't had to like bend myself to the whole YouTube thing. So Gutsy, follow your strengths. No, it didn't. I can't see it in the camera. Focus upon your strengths. And then you'll be a real Apollo, yeah? Apollo, the Greek god who is so strong and so positive. So keep on thinking positive, Gutsy. Thanks for your question. Okie dokie. Now then. Ryan Biggs. Hey, good to see you again. Thanks for coming in tonight. Or is it tonight? Maybe it's today with you, but it's tonight here in UK. It's 21:29. Just got to plug my laptop in. Just noticed the battery's like gasping its last there. There, we've got it plugged in. Got a nice little Zappy Z picture thing in the battery now, so that's looking a lot better. Right. Can you see anything for me in regards to work? Okay. Right, this is just not the deck for that. Let's put that away. Tarot. Okay, let's have a look for Ryan Biggs. Can we see anything in the cards here in regards to work? Okay. Ooh. 8 of Wands, Ryan. This is very fast progress, right? Now, I guess from the fact that this card has come up, something is a little bit baffling around the world of work to you at the moment. I think you're wondering where the whole thing's headed. I think it's kind of difficult for you to really understand what's going on, because what we've got here, these are meant to be playing cards, right? And in the 8 of Wands, it is very fast progress. And in this deck, when we can see the front of the card, that means we've got some working out to do. But when we can only see the back of the cards, as we can here, that means there's almost no point trying to work it out. You know, you just got to let whatever happens, happens and go with the flow, Ryan. Okay, but it's fast-moving progress. If you're out of work, you're going to find work. If work has gone really stale around you at the moment, it's going to come to life. There's going to be a promotion or something. But this is seriously forward motion. We've also got a lot of higher heart chakra pink in this card, Ryan. So that is, you know, it's going to be a happier job. It's going to be something you're happier with as you go forward, and it's going to fit in with your life quite nicely as well. So if at the moment work is really getting in the way of everything and being difficult, it's all going to fit together pretty nicely in the near future, right? Because it is very fast progress with the 8 of Wands. I hope that helps you. Thanks so much for your question. Thanks so much for your question. Let's do a bit of scrolling. Adrienne's having a second break before you tackle mowing the backyard. Good for you. I'm going to have to do some mowing tomorrow, but I'm going to use a weed whacker because my garden's all lumpy and there's like stuff growing everywhere. So I can't get a lawn mower through it without killing off the stuff I've grown. So I'm going to use a weed whacker and some shears tomorrow. But that's my tomorrow. That's my Monday. That's what I've got to do. Let's take a look at this one from Thule. This is just not exactly a question, but I think this is worth picking up on. Thule saying, I look forward to a steadier relationship with these guides. I used to only say I love you and happy birthday at odd times. I have one on my right and one in the center. Yeah, so it's deepening. Yeah, it is. It will deepen, you know, that's how it goes. Sometimes they come through and love is a wonderful thing, but they say things, you know, very general things like that. But it is all the beginning of something bigger happening, you know, just like when I'm always telling people, listen to your dreams, being in the dream state. wonderful, wonderful insights can come to you in your dreams, but it's likely to come in a crazy, jumbled up way. And it's likely to be a string of dreams, and the first couple of dreams don't always make sense. An example from my dream craziness about a year and a half ago, I had this dream where I was in I was in like a mausoleum, you know, like where people are in holes in the wall, and there's like a marble plate on over the front, you know, and the coffin is in a hole in the wall, like one of those. But one of the I don't know what the words are here, but one of those marble plates right down near the bottom was broken, and there was like soil coming out of it, or concrete dust, or something spilling out of it, and there was a turquoise hoodie on the floor as well. I didn't know what the hell that meant, but I had several more dreams which built on it, and they were all the same kind of theme. And in the end, I actually met my own mother, who passed away when I was 23, and it was her wanting to talk to me, you know, and just wanting us to kind of sort out things that never got sorted, because she passed when I was quite young, you know, and there was a lot of things never got sorted out. And that's where it led. It was wonderful. It's a very, very deep experience, actually. But it started off with this crazy symbolism that I couldn't understand. And since then, I've bought a turquoise hoodie, which I wear in some of my videos, actually. And that was also part of our message, was to kind of keep going with YouTube and everything, and keep things like that flowing, you know. Philip says, energy flowing tonight. It certainly is. I can feel it. It is palpable. Always great to have. Something else that's great to have is a drink of water. And Apollo is perfect for you. Love that card. Yeah, I love it too. I love that deck, actually. So, Tuli, that relationship is definitely going to get steady. It's difficult for Spirit to be in perfect sync with us, you know. It takes them time to establish it, because they're eternal and we are not. But, you know, they can do it, and they do it. They're doing it all the time. And I'm sure that will keep on building up, you know. I'm sure it will keep on building up. What's really good, Tuli, is that you know they're there, and you know they're sending you love. Yeah? Okay. Right. Okay, Gutsy says, Apollo, the Olympian, god of the sunlight, healing and plagues, prophecy, knowledge and order, beauty, archery and agriculture, an embodiment of the Hellenic ideal of harmony, reason and moderation. Tons of keywords there, Gutsy, but they're all positive ones, all sounding good. Okay. I've really got to get a better mouse. It's really jerky mouse. Right. Let's go to Erin at this point. And Erin is hi, Erin. Erin is asking, Andy, can I trust a spirit who says he's a priest and my ancestor? He'd like to work with me. I've got a feeling that's a yes, Erin. Okay. Let's do a pendulum. That's a good pendulum question. Okay. And this is my most cosmic pendulum for questions like this. Can Erin O'Nugent trust a spirit who says he's a priest and my ancestor? He'd like to work with me. I'm getting a yes here, Erin. Okay. But the key to this, for Erin and everyone, always trust your vibes. Okay, Erin, something made you wonder about that. Think on that. Okay. You can trust him, he's trustworthy, but is he the right energy for you? That's what you've got to ask yourself, okay? They choose us, not the other way around, but at times there have been spirit guides I've said no thank you to. And it's a difficult one, you know, it's a difficult one. It really is, because they all have a lot to offer us, they really do. They all have a lot to offer. But tread carefully, you know, that's so important to keep on treading carefully. Okay. Let's have a look at this one. What we got here? Jackie Walters, hi to you. Andy, I've finally made a life-changing decision I've been struggling with. I know it's right and I feel lighter. A comment or a bit of advice from Spirit. Okay. Well, I'll pull a card. Okay, we'll get the perspective of Spirit through the good offices of the tarot. But this feels very positive to me, Jackie. Okay. A life-changing decision you've been struggling with. Well, sure, it wasn't nice struggling with it, but it's good that you struggled with it and didn't just kind of ride over it, you know, because with hard questions, a lot of people just try to move on without really thinking about it. And you've put a lot of thought and effort into it. I'm being told it's a real good decision for you, actually. And also, you're saying you know it's right and you feel lighter. And that's great. You know, that shows it is. I feel there was someone quite domineering, you know. It was either a situation that was dominating your life or a person. I feel like this was a domineering person involved. And the domineering person probably didn't want you to choose exactly what you've chosen. But you've chosen it anyway. And, you know, what you've done is you've followed your heart. Okay, Jackie, following your heart is really where it's at. It makes a world of difference to things. It really does. And I'm going to do you 3 cards on that. Okay. Right. Put these to one side and do the 3 we've got. First one, 8 of Swords. So, right, in this card, Alice is like tied up to the swords and she's blindfolded, but she could wriggle free of the swords if she wanted to. It's all grey skies, it's all thundery, but nevertheless, she's more or less happy to stay there. It's much better if Alice gets up and moves forward, and that's the nature of the 8 here, because with the 8, there's heaven and earth. You know, the 2 circles of the 8 are as above, so below. So she would get heavenly help if she wanted to move forward. And this is the first of 3. So this is where you were at, Jackie, and you've done the right thing. You've struggled free and you are moving forward. Next one in the middle, King of Swords. Yeah, here's that domineering character I was thinking about. You've been having to walk around on eggshells around someone as part of this decision, Jackie. And you've done the right thing, you know. The sword is like the mother of all decisions, or maybe it's the father of all decisions, the daddy of all decisions, because it is the King of Swords here. But you've made that big decision, and that has set you free from having to walk on eggshells around people. Third card, this is where you're headed. Temperance. This is great. This is things coming into balance, okay? And this is you being much more able to be yourself, okay? This is like being able to be a better version of yourself, a version of yourself that makes you happier and is more productive in your life. So that's the comment. That's the bit of advice, really, is just don't feel bad about it. I feel like you've had to leave someone behind. Sometimes you have to do that. And as an example, I think a lot of people could probably relate to. I had a very, very good and dear friend for about, I think it was 29 years. And the thing is, he smoked pot, right? The devil's lettuce. And he didn't smoke much of it. And it never really, you know, was a problem or anything for him. And then he inherited quite a lot of money, and he was smoking like 2 ounces of the stuff a week, which I think must have been costing him about 400 British pounds, and he was just steaming through this stuff. And he got very overbearing and very judgmental. And he was in that place that people get into when they're smoking pot, where he just kind of thought he was better than everyone and everyone was stupid. And I just got sick of him and I had to cut him loose after 29 years. But he was very, very domineering once the drugs took hold of him, you know. And I felt really bad about letting him go, really bad. But actually, that was a couple of years ago now, and I'm glad I did, you know. I can breathe much better than I could breathe before, you know. So, Jackie, there you go. Wow, that was quite a long explanation, wasn't it? But the bottom line, right, your future is temperance. It's things coming into balance, and it's you being able to perform at your best. So looks like a nice outcome there. Thanks for your question, Jackie. Thanks for supporting the channel, and thanks for being here tonight. Let us move on to Stella A. Hello, Stella. Nice to meet you. Glad you joined us, and thanks for your question. I would like to know if my brother and his family moved from my mum's house, they would come back eventually. Right. Okay. What I feel is yes. Okay, I'm going to do a pendulum on that. I feel the answer to that is yes. Okay, but what you've got to remember is that every day is a new day. And the past is almost like a foreign country. There's a famous quote from literature. The past is a foreign country. They do things differently there. So whatever happens, things aren't going to be the same again. But things wouldn't be the same again even if they all stayed there. So let's just... get the pendulum going and read that one again. Hello, I would like to know if my brother and his family moved from my mum's house, they would come back eventually. Pendulum's giving me a yes here, Stella. I think it's going to be a long time, to be honest, because it's a very slow yes and it's not speeding up, but it's a definite yes. This, well, both my pendulums do a circle for yes and back and forth for no. And now it's been swinging a while. The circle is getting bigger, actually. Okay, so it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while, but it is a yes. So thank you for that question, Stella, and thanks for being with us here tonight. Really appreciate it. Or maybe it's today where you are. I keep saying tonight, but it might be today. Debbie Fitzsimmons is here. Let's go. Okay. Andy, I've been working on developing my abilities. Great. Still not sure what I'm doing, but I've had different experiences in the past. Is there anything my guides need me to know to advance further? Right. Okay. What I'm getting, Debbie, still not sure what you're doing. But as I said to someone just a few minutes ago, and I'm sorry I can't remember who it was I said it to, but this holds good, okay? This is kind of part of spiritual teaching that applies to just about everyone. You do go through uncertainty along the way. It's one of those things where the journey to get there is the important thing, you know, because when you think about it, whatever we do in this life, it's our journey through life that really makes a difference. Sometimes when you look at a gravestone, it'll have the person's name and whose relative they were, and maybe a slogan or, you know, one of their favorite sayings. And then somewhere it'll say the year they were born, and there'll be a dash, and then it'll say the year that they passed. Okay, and that dash represents everything that person went through on the journey of life between those years. And, you know, it's much more important how you spend your dash than how you spend your cash, if you know what I mean. And I'm pinching a speech that another medium called Kim Jameson gave quite a long time ago now. But it's really true, you know, that dash, that journey of life, that's what really, really matters. So even if you don't know where you're headed, if you're feeling comfortable with it, that's really good. Okay, now you've had different experiences in the past. Okay, but you know, that's in the past. You are moving towards the right. I've got that wrong. Get it right, Andy. You're moving in the right direction. You're moving towards where you need to be to bring happiness into your own life at a higher level. I feel that your life is not devoid of happiness at all, but there's more happiness. At the moment, your happiness is like tinged with certain responsibilities and problems going off. But things improve as you go forward. Things really do improve as you go forward. So keep on working with those guides. It takes a long time for spirit guides to get completely in sync with us so they can work with us. I've even heard spirit guides moaning about how difficult that can be with me. Okay, and with other people as well, but they've moaned at me about that. They really have. But it just takes time, you know. They live in this eternal world, and you know, we live in a world that's governed by time and, or, you know, money, all the stuff we have to deal with in life, really. But hey, thanks for your question, Debbie, and I totally wish you the very best with that. Just keep going is the way to sum it up, I really think. Let's just go back to Jackie Walters a minute, because I didn't see that one come up. Jackie has decided to quit nursing, sell my house, and follow my art and spirituality. Hard to leave my old life, kind of a leap of faith. but you are following your heart, Jackie. That's what really, really matters. Now, deciding to quit nursing sounds like kind of a heavy thing, you know. It's probably something that the people around you aren't going to thoroughly understand, you know. And that's where the walking on eggshell bit comes with, really. Yeah, it is a struggle to change your life. Yeah, really, most certainly is. But, you know, it's better to kind of follow your heart and make those changes than to just keep on going with something that isn't getting you where you need to be, because it feels selfish at the time, right, Jackie? But you can't pour from an empty vessel. As long as you're following your heart, your vessel will keep filling up, and you can give more to the world that way than you can by just staying bound to something that's not helping you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a great one, isn't it, Carrie? To be honest, though, right, you learned that from me saying it, but really you learned it from a wonderful medium called Kim Jameson, who works around the churches in Wales when we're not closed down because of that thing I try not to mention on YouTube, because I don't know, like, you know, the news channels can mention it, but apparently it gets you in trouble with YouTube if you mention it. But you know what I mean, the big disease that no one talks about. Thule says, OMG, my neck just cleared. Okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I hope that is the healing influence of this group, okay? Because there's lots of great healing energy here. There is. Okay. Right this minute, I'm thinking I've run out of questions at this point, which is cool. There's plenty more to talk about. But if I've missed you and I've missed your question, please do type it in, okay? Please do type it in and I'll come to you as quick as I can. Sharon Lee says, oh, I had a friend who got very into pot and she got so judgmental. Was my best friend, had to end it. Yeah, very similar story to me. Sharon, let's pop that one up. This is worth talking about, actually. It's a great shame, you know. I used to smoke pot, but I reached a point in my life where, you know, I didn't really go overboard on it, and I reached a point in my life where it was very expensive, and I had a stroke. You know, I get confused easily, so the last thing I wanted to do was be stoned. But yeah, my mate, he was a great friend for so long, and he just started calling everyone, me, but everyone, all his friends, stupid. You're just being stupid. That's stupid, you know. He was a woodworker, which is something we had in common. And one day I bought a new tool, and it was really, really badly made when it came. But I bought it. It's a Stanley, which should be good, but it's not an American Stanley. It's a Chinese knockoff of a Stanley. And that was the problem. And they'd misunderstood what a spoke shave is. And I told him about this on the phone. And he came round and he looked at it. He said, oh, I thought it was just Andy being stupid. But yeah, it's not very good. And I just got sick of it, you know. He criticised me for things like putting the heating on for my children. Which, like, you know, you got to keep your children warm, haven't you? And he got more and more like it. He was just criticising everyone constantly. And it just got too heavy. So yeah, got to end these things sometimes. Sometimes it's the only way to go, you know. Yeah, you were as well, Marcy. Well, fair enough. It's not a really bad thing, you know. What's good is you kind of, you know, you reach a point and you decide you're not going to have any more of it. That's the truth. I mean, there's talk at the moment about the antidepressant qualities of magic mushrooms, psilocybin mushrooms. I've got to admit, I had far too many of those in my younger day. I'd never had them before, and some of the guys in the house I lived in were cooking some up, and I said, oh, can I try some? And yeah, but you have done it before, haven't you? So I said, oh, yes, I have. And I had no idea how many you were supposed to take. And they made up a brew with 200 of them. And I wasn't the same again. It took me years afterwards to kind of calm down and come back to earth. As Adrian says, Cheryl, yeah, please repost your question, my friend. I'll scroll them and down, and I just can't find it. But yeah, if there's a question, I will most certainly do it. Kat May is saying as well, yeah, Cheryl, if you wouldn't mind typing your question in, I'll come straight to you. cannabis oil can work miracles. I totally agree. I've got some, actually. I take that every day. And it's zero THC formulation as well. Doesn't get you high at all, but it's wonderful in terms of, I believe it's good for preventing cancer, but I get a wonderful sort of well-being in my life since I started taking it, you know. And it is just the CBD oil. There's absolutely zero THC. Some of them have a trace of THC, but it's not enough to get you high. It's very good stuff, though. It really is. So, Cheryl, thanks for typing that one in again. Let's have a look now. My tenant's husband died 2 weeks ago. Now she has no money to pay rent on Wednesday. What do you see her needing to do? Move out, get a roommate, get a job. She's 75 and uses a walker to get around. Quite honestly, getting a job, I can't see that happening. I can't really see it working out with a roommate either. I'll do some divination on this in a second. I can feel that you don't just want to kick her out, you know, but I think she's going to end up having to move on, to be quite honest. And I think there's people who will help her as well, you know. It's a very hard fact of life, Cheryl, but you need that money coming in, don't you? I mean, this isn't just you being greedy, Cheryl. I know it isn't. You need some money coming in. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what the cards say. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Well, what the cards are saying here, Cheryl, don't worry about it. It's the 10 of Cups. This is the happy ever after card, okay? So it's going to work out all right. It's going to be difficult. It's going to seem like, you know, pigs might fly before this sorts itself out, but it's going to sort itself out, and she is going to be happy ever after. And there's a happy outcome for all concerned in this, okay? I think we're looking at her moving out, though. That's the feeling I get. I'm going to just douse with the pendulum on that and see where we get. Okay. Cheryl's tenant needs to move out, please. Just stop it twirling for a second there. The string twirls on this pendulum. It's giving me a yes, right? I'm reading it, but you don't want her to move out. She's like family. And she does qualify for HUD. I really get the feeling of moving out. Maybe what she's going to do is actually move out of where she is now, and you're still going to look after her in some way. But it's definitely not a roommate. It's definitely not getting a job, you know. But the more you can look after her, the better, Cheryl. Okay, and it's wonderful that you want to. Her mother-in-law has talked about buying your duplex. Her mother-in-law must be quite an age. Cool, I'd move quickly on that. I would move quickly on that. I really would. Yeah. But we got 10 of Cups, okay? There's a happy outcome from this. Don't let it be a worry, Cheryl. That's the bottom line, okay? Now, Erin's asking, could you get a home health care worker? I don't know what you mean by HUD. That's just not an expression I know, I'm afraid. But sounds to me like there's some kind of benefit there, you know? So Sue's asking me to do a pendulum on the mother-in-law, okay? We'll do that then. It's twirling again. Right, let's stop it. So will the mother-in-law buy the place? Get any yes on that? Get any yes on that? Bottom line is you don't have to go on getting no money from it, okay? But the real crucial thing is that card, 10 of Cups. It's a happy ever after, for sure it is, okay? But you see, someone of that age, with someone of that age, there are people who want to help, you know. There are charitable organizations, but there are people generally who will want to help. And I said a couple of months ago, your duplex would sell in August. Well, there you go. That sounds pretty positive. Aaron's saying HUD, government housing for low-income families and individuals. Well, if she qualifies for that, it's going to be coolio, you know. And that'll get you through until the sale happens and everything, okay? Definitely a happy ever after on that one, though. And I like happy ever afters. I really do. That's what we're always looking for. Okay, going to go to Denise Trudeau at this point. My brother passed last year running and was a great humorist for his 3 girls. He raised them. Does Jacques have a message? So I guess you're in Canada, Denise. That all sounds very kind of French-Canadian to me. Right. Let's see where we get. Let's see where we get. I'm picking up something about swimming, Denise. Don't know if he was a keen swimmer or something like that, but I see this guy swimming is what I see. I'll do some cards. I'm glad you feel better, Cheryl. It's a happy outcome we're looking at there. It really is. Denise. Okay, right, it feels like go with the flow. The card I've got here is the devil, which again doesn't mean the nasty little man with horns. It just means like the devil is in the detail and it's time to go for it. It's time to make something happen. It's time basically to stop hanging around because this card comes either just before or just after the Hanged Man in the Major Arcana. So the message is it's time to stop hanging around. It's time to start making something happen. But swimming, there's something about swimming, and I feel like you're going to have to swim against the flow somehow, Denise, right? It's like salmon when they have to swim uphill, upstream. They have to swim against the current to get back to where they need to keep their life cycle moving. So that's the thing. Don't let the grass grow under your feet, Denise, even though it's like it's an uphill journey ahead of you. Keep on pushing on, okay? Oh, hello, Vanessa. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, keep on keeping on. That really does seem to be the message. I'm going to pull another card and see what we get here. Also, 4 of Pentacles. Very similar theme, actually. Okay, this is you, Denise. You're having to hide away in the teapot with the teapot lid on your head. Looks like you're, you know, something in life is a frightening prospect. But if we come up close, someone's taking a bite out of that biscuit. That's your biscuit, Denise. You need to come out of the teapot and take a bite of the biscuit of life, as it were. Okay, so swimming against the tide, really not easy. Coming out of the teapot and keep on going. Okay. He's telling me something about humor. His girls are going to be cheerful, you know, a lot more cheerful than they are now. He's telling me they have been able to cheer up a bit, and that they do find things to smile about. That's partly something that he's instilled into them just by the example of being the way he is. Okay, so it's onwards and upwards for them, and it's onwards and upwards for you, Denise. But in your case, it's more onwards and uphill. It's an uphill journey, but do make that journey. Just do keep going, okay? And call on the angels. I don't know if you're an angel person, Denise, but ask the angels to help you with this because you're all swimmers in the family. Great. That's kind of what that's all about then. Wonderful. But yeah, it's an uphill journey for you, Denise. Ask the angels, okay? There's always an angel wanting to help you, waiting to help you, but you've got to ask them because it's always got to be free will. So I wish you the best with that, Denise. Thank you very much for your question. Thanks so much. Hello, Harry's mom, 2008. Your first time here? Well, it's great to meet you. Very welcome. I hope you'll join us again and again. We're sort of coming towards the last few minutes of the show at this point, okay? Now then, his girls have not gotten his memorial together. Oh, that's difficult. That's difficult. You see, that's not an upsetting thing for him, okay? That things like that are for the people who are left behind. So don't let that become like a psychological worry, as it were. But obviously, for all concerned, it's going to be good if they can get it together. So, do your best, basically, Denise, but don't let it be a worry, okay? And again, ask the angels to help. You would not believe the magical things that can happen when you ask the angels to help. It's really amazing. And as I said in my Friday video, it's often very last minute as well, okay? So thanks, Denise. Gonna go to Vanessa Mercier. Welcome, Vanessa, who is a friend of mine, actually, from Instagram. And I kind of tried to persuade her to come on here, so I'm glad she's here. Let's do you a card, Vanessa, okay? I'll do you a tarot card, I think. Very tarot-based evening tonight so far. Well, there's still 5 minutes left, Jazzy Sophie. And I'm sorry I don't just go on and on, but the energy drops, and I'm not so good at questions once I go past an hour and a half, and that's why I stop when I do, really. Okay. Vanessa, this is about moving on as well for you, okay? We've got the 5 of Cups here, and there's an element of bereavement involved in this card. I don't know if we're actually talking about you losing someone to the spirit world. If so, I'm sorry to hear that. But it's either that or more likely a situation that is just not serving you anymore. You need to move forward, but it's hard for you to move forward, Vanessa, because you used to like life being that way. Basically, okay, but it's gone wrong. There are 5 cups involved. 3 of them are on top of this table and they've spilt, and you can't reach them. Yeah, the table's too high for you to reach up and pick them up, but you're ignoring these 2 cups here, which are still full. Okay, so run with things as they are, Vanessa. Okay, don't worry about the past. It's a sad thing when life changes and we feel less happy, but you'll make the most of it, Vanessa. You're looking for new work. Great. Keep on doing that. Keep on going in that direction. That's the thing to do. It really is, Vanessa. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for your question. Okay. If you can come in a little bit earlier in a future one, right? I've just got more energy and I can go deeper then. Okay, but it's great to see you, Vanessa, and I'll pray for you to find a new job. I really hope it works out for you. Vanessa is great, guys. She's a lovely woman, okay? And this group is a very understanding group as well. I'm going to do a card for Jazzy Sophie. She hasn't actually asked for anything. I'm just drawn. I feel drawn to do a quick card for Jazzy Sophie. What we got? No, an oracle card, I'm being told. Let's do a Keepers of the Light. Hello, Linda Bishop. Nice to see you. Hello, Brenda Robbins. Okay. Come on, cards. Got to have all the cards, otherwise I can't shuffle and get a definite card. Right. Okay. The card for Jazzy Sophie, and it's Green Tara, Supreme Protection. Okay, so Sophie, you are protected, cords are being cut, move beyond limitation and trust. Okay, sounds a bit worrying around cords being cut, but don't worry. If cords ever get cut and you actually needed to have that cord, it'll grow back, so don't worry about it. Very quick one there. Okay, very quick one there, but I kind of felt I had to. Okay, Brenda Robbins, I'm going to do this one because it's a pendulum question. If I can find my pendulum, that is. It's hiding behind my microphone there. Right. Brenda Robbins, I need new floors. Do you see them coming for me? Okay, this pendulum does a circle for yes and a back and forth for no. Yeah. That's a yes. But it was very shaky to begin with, okay? And that tells us it's going to take a bit more time than you think it is, okay? New floors will come. I feel that something needs to happen first. I feel like money has to come from somewhere first before it can happen. And the money side of things feel a bit impossible to you at the moment, Brenda. But it's going to happen. It's going to work out, okay? Because we got a yes there. We definitely did. Hi, Julie. Yeah, I will say hello to Marcy and Tinkerbell for you. Julie, by the way, and actually a lot of people, thanks so much for the comments you leave. I'm getting so many comments these days and I'm doing so many readings that I don't always get the chance to catch up with them, but I read them all. I appreciate them all from the bottom of my heart. I really do. So thank you very much, everyone. As Kat says, everything in this video for entertainment purposes only. I've got to say that. I totally believe this stuff. I totally stick by it, but you just never know, okay? Things can... I think it's probably worth saying this again. Things can be different with the spirit world, particularly in terms of time, because they live in the eternal realm and they're so different in the way they live their lives to the way we are. Friends of mine paid 500 British pounds to a medium to find out when their house was going to sell. The medium told them September. It sold in September 5 years later. And that's why it's important to put that entertainment purposes only on things, because it can be different to what I've picked up. It really can, okay? But I stick by everything I've said. And guys, always think positive as much as possible, okay? Right, guys. Well, on that note, love, light, blessings, hugs from Twaina and from all of us to each other, I'm sure. Okay, Martin, yeah, I'm afraid I do just have to not worry if I can't do all the readings, because at the moment I think I've covered most of them tonight. But as the channel grows, only some people are going to get their questions answered, and I'm kind of sorry about that, really. But hopefully I'll grow with it at the same time, and you know, be able to do more as I go along. Let me just let me just put something else on the screen here. Okay, coffee.com/twig. If you'd like to buy me a coffee or buy the channel a coffee, please go along to my page. That's the address of it. It's scrolling along the screen at the bottom there. And there's also the link to my coffee page down there in the description beneath this video. You'll see some pictures of my garden and the cats and stuff that's going on in life, which I update from time to time. So it's all interesting stuff. And it's what I do instead of Super Chat, guys, okay? Because coffee doesn't take anything out of your payment, whereas YouTube takes 30% out of Super Chat. So coffee.com is what I do instead of Super Chat. All donations very, very welcome, actually. Just had my roof repaired and it sucked all my money out. Also down there, 35and@83@gmail.com. Just like that, which is my email address. If you would like a private reading, please contact me there. I can do psychic readings, mediumship. I can do a card reading for you. We can go face-to-face on Zoom or Skype, something like that. If you want to do a face-to-face reading, bit of a speciality of mine that actually we tend to get a better connection that way. Also astrology, birth charts, horoscopes. I do lots of birth charts, actually. If you're interested in any of that, 35and83@gmail.com, just like it says there. Okay, and coffee.com/twig. Now then. Okay, let's go back to the chat because I've gone on to the banners thing. Yeah, hit the like and subscribe buttons, please. That really helps no end. It really does. Okay, so guys, I'm going to say thanks very, very much for being here. It's been lovely energy tonight. I've really enjoyed this one. I really enjoy them all. This is what I love doing. Okay, lovely vibe on the chat. Thanks to all the moderators and thanks to all you guys for being so kind to me and kind to each other. Really great stuff. Yeah, I do, Salma. Yeah, I do. It's got to be Skype, though, or Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger are the best ones. Zoom gets cut off, but, you know, yeah, I do. It can be arranged, most certainly. Vicky Ormsby, I am going now. This Pisces is needing help. Go on, then. Go on, then. Go on, then. I don't think you asked that just out of... I think you've got a good reason for asking that. Card for you. Okay. Persistence. Luge. Right? You've got to persist. Look at the fire around this guy's head here. You've got to be as persistent as you can and just keep going, because what you're actually in at this moment, Vicky, is you're going through a dark night of the soul. You just got to keep going, my friend. Okay, it's difficult for you because you're a Pisces. You want to be kind to people. You want to be helpful to people. Focus on yourself. Okay, because like I said to someone earlier, you cannot pour from an empty vessel. You really can't. It's much less selfish to focus on yourself, work on yourself, do what you need to do, follow your heart, do what you enjoy, and your vessel will fill up and you will be able to give so much more to people, Vicky. I hope that helps you. I'll show you that card again, persistence, and it's luge. Okay, so guys, thanks again. Have a fantastic rest of your day or evening or morning, depending where you are in the world. I'll be back along Wednesday evening at 9 p.m. UK time, which is 3 p.m. Central USA. Yeah, that's it. I'll be back then, hoping to do something with Celtic Tarot Sheila again soon, hoping to do something with Danny Shea from Bathrobe Tarot as well. That is seriously on the cards. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, be good to each other. Take care of yourselves. And so I'm going to end this one, say good night and love and light to you and blessings. And where's the button? Peace. Oh, got to that peace.